What do you think about that?
Monkey business as usual, you know?
You must be doing something right?
Well, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What do you have to say to kids out there who want to be like you?
If it's in your, if it's in your blood, then go for it. You know, the only people that are ever going to tell you you can't accomplish something are the ones who fail. I'm not here to tell you you can't do something because I did it. You can do it.
Did you think, well, I asked you this before, but did you think that you would have as much money as you do? I mean, you're very wealthy from what you've done.
Yeah, but money's not important. Once you have money, you realize that it's really not important. What money gives you the opportunity to do is forget about money so that you can get on with the things that are really important. You know, I mean, how many cars can you drive? So how many do you need? You know, those aren't the things that really make you happy.
Are these?
Well, it sure helps.
So we know what the positive aspects of being the rock star are. Are there any negative aspects?
Not enough time. You know, I mean, people who complain about this, I mean, the best thing that fans can do if they really want their stars to be happy, if somebody's unhappy or feels that they're working too hard, stop buying their records and make them real happy. You know, it just doesn't seem right to me that somebody should win the lottery and complain about paying taxes on it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've been hitting the jackpot year after year and there's no complaints.
So is it lonely at the top?
Well, I don't know, as long as I got company like this. You know, how much company do you need?
Okay. So tell me about touring. Touring must be difficult.
Oh, yeah. I cry every night.
Do you?
It's great.
You like it?
It's wonderful. I mean, it's like that one night a year you get to have dinner with your best friends in that city. And maybe when you leave in the morning, some of them are a little sore, but at least they got something to remember you by.
You think women should be in rock and roll?
In every way possible. You know, I have a deep appreciation of women, and the deeper the better.
Can you cut? I got. So you've never been married, right?
Never. I'm looking for the perfect wife.
Oh, well.
It's open auditions.
Do you want to be married?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of marriage. I think it's a great institution.
Family?
The thing I'm not crazy about is divorce.
Mm.
You know, so if you're going to get married and you're going to give everything up for it, you better make sure that the woman's worthwhile.
Do you want to have a family and
You betcha.
little Paul Stanleys and 5-inch platforms and everything?
Yep, the works.
Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, in the early days, you probably got a lot of criticism for, you know, being as outrageous as you were. How did that affect you personally? Did it ever make you feel bad?
I take a lot of pride in the people that don't like us as much as I do in the people that like us. You know, somebody's got to be judged by their friends and their enemies. And I don't have any time to make excuses or try to make friends with people that don't like what I do, because the people who do like what I do are the ones I owe everything to. And there's only...
But do you ever read a bad review and feel bad?
No. No, because, I mean, time tells all, you know, and most of the critics who may have been putting us down 5 or 10 years ago are now probably working for us or looking for a job.
You think there might be some jealousy in that criticism?
Absolutely. You know, the more vehement somebody is about their feelings, usually, the more suspect they are.
Talk to me about groupies a little bit.
Groupies, I guess, serve a social function, I guess, of sorts. And, you know, it's not something that I'm out there recommending to everybody. Just like I'm not telling people to go out and become doctors or lawyers. Everybody will find their place. And I imagine people who get involved in that line ultimately go into something else. It's probably just a transitional period, but, you know, who am I to judge?
Go to his face. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm sure you've probably been with a lot of groupies, see on his face? Have you ever said to yourself, I could fall in love with this groupie?
Have you
ever said to yourself, I could fall in love with this groupie? Yeah.
Probably not, because I'd have to think that somebody in every other band had also.
Do you think those kids are sort of beating their head against the wall to try to be, you know, getting next to you rock stars?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting next to rock stars. I think, you know, I mean, it depends on how realistically you see what you're doing. I mean, if you're out to have a little bit of fun, that's about all it comes down to. I mean, I'm not sure there's much more to it than that.
Well, don't you have wild sex with groupies, Paul?
I don't know. That's a personal question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Talk to me about fans as opposed to groupies.
Fans are the most important thing around. Without fans, we're nothing. So they're the people that we owe everything to, and the ones that we try to do everything for. I mean, they're the reason we are. And when you forget that, then you lose it all. I mean, those are the people who make everything possible for me, and I'll do anything I can to make something worthwhile
You
for
always
them.
stop and give autographs when you ask for them?
You betcha. You betcha.
Okay. Paul,
Yeah.
what do you think about kids using drugs?
Well, I don't think there's anything admirable about being a dead legend, and that's probably the reason why I'm not into it, you know. I mean, you only have to look around and go check out Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. That's not my idea of fun.
Yeah, but, you know, Keith Richards is still alive and you know, shoving it up his nose.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to say one's good and one's bad. You know, you can play Russian roulette for 5 years and never get hurt, and then one time you pull the trigger and it's all over. So I mean, it's just not my thing. I don't think it works, and I don't think that you have to kill yourself just to show you're alive. I mean, you can put the pedal to the metal and still get out alive if you're just careful. But I don't think that it's just not my thing.
So the sex and the drugs are pretty cool, but I mean,
sex
the
can kill you
sex and the
nowadays.
rock and roll are pretty cool, but not the drugs is what I meant to say.
Well, I mean, you know, everything can kill you. I mean, let's be honest, there's nothing that can't harm you at this point. And anything you're going to fool around with, you better know what you're doing ahead of time. There's nothing in life you should do without knowing what the risks are.
About the music, what do you think about the fact that a lot of the music has gotten harder than it was in the last 10, 15 years? Like speed metal and thrash and all that stuff.
Everything's cool if there's people that like it. I'm not here to tell people to eat the food I eat, live the life that I live. Kind of music you like is cool because you like it. And if somebody's being satisfied with a certain kind of music or a certain kind of clothes or a certain kind of art, then I'm all for it. Because all we're here to do is make people happy.
What do you think about these people that say that you influence kids in the wrong way and that you encourage them to use drugs and that you encourage them to be violent and all that stuff?
Well, you know, if that's true, then they're probably the best example of how people can go wrong because they grew up listening to rock and roll. And the way I see it, some of those parents have turned out pretty twisted themselves. I don't think, I've never stood on a soapbox and told people to live like I live. I don't even tell people how I live. You know, I think everybody's got to decide for themselves what's right and wrong. And that's something that comes with experience. I'm not here to tell you to live like me because I learned through my own experience. But I think that it's kind of weird when people grow up swearing they'll never be like their parents and then turn into them. And they wind up telling their kids the same things their parents told them. I think it's kind of sad.
What's the largest number of people you've played for and how'd that feel?
146,000 people. It was pretty awesome. Pretty amazing. And the great thing about it was that it was in Brazil. And the nice thing about that is you really realize that rock and roll is the thing that holds the world together. Because music is the common language.
How do you feel about the fact that you're a very important spokesman for that?
I would be an important spokesman for anything.
Well, you write the songs.
I write the songs.
Oh, stop it. I can't buy that. I wouldn't buy that.
You know, if somebody's asking me my opinion, that's great. I don't like things blown out of proportion. All I am is me. I can speak for me. I can't speak for a movement. I can't speak for anything more than myself. I don't want that responsibility.
What kind of, do you think heavy metal music will continue to grow then?
It may turn into something else. It may be called something else. But the roots of it will always remain because it's honest music. It's music that's made by people who are thinking gut level. And maybe it appeals on a more animalistic level, but that's really what rock and roll is. I mean, when Elvis was shaking his hips, you know, that was pretty primal, you know. That's pretty low down. And that's the way I like to be, low down.